The state of Kansas provides an online behavioral questions generator that can be used to create questions as well as a rating scale for each question. To use the question generator, go to www.da.ks.gov/ps/subject/BEI. The first step is to select the performance skill categories that best fit the position for which you are preparing interview questions. Note that several of these performance categories relate directly to the state of Wyoming core behavioral competencies. At minimum, these categories should be selected. Other categories should be selected as appropriate for the position. For example, if you are interviewing candidates for a position that you know will be faced with obstacles, selecting removing obstacles will provide interview questions that may help you determine each candidate's preparedness for addressing those challenges. After submitting performance categories, the generator will provide a list of questions that you can select to create a rating form to copy and paste into a document and edit as appropriate for the position needs. When selecting questions, it is important to consider variety as well as time constraints. You will want to be able to learn a broad amount of information about the candidate, but you also want to allow the candidate enough time to elaborate on some of the details of his or her responses to your questions. If you copy and paste a question that you know you will want to weigh more heavily than other questions, you can multiply the rating options so that the question has a greater influence on the candidate's overall rating. The STAR criteria for assessing responses to interview questions is included on the form as a way of guiding your note-taking during the interview. To help you remember the details of the candidate's answer to the question, you should record what the situation or task was that the candidate is describing, what action the candidate took, and what the result of that action was. Finally, when preparing copies of the interview questions and rating scales, it is a good idea to create a copy without the scoring boxes to provide to the candidate during the interview. Just be sure to get the copy of the questions back from the candidate before the end of the interview, and make sure every candidate receives the same copy of the questions.